Guys, I've had lots of questions about layering vinyl. So I was going to give you a demonstration today. This is the easiest way that I have found to do it. So first off, I'm going to have 3 different layers to some of these. So this is going to be my back layer. And as you can see, they've got those little squares in the top. Those are called registration marks. And it's going to help you line up the vinyl so it all matches. So this is going to be the bottom, and we're going to have this yellow in between, and then we're going to have the black on the top. So what I do is I use my mat because it's sticky. As you can see, this vinyl curls a little bit, and you really need it to stay flat. So I just put it on one of my sticky mats, roll it with a brayer, and now I'm going to pick up my next layer, which is going to be this yellow. So I'm going to get a piece of transfer tape, burnish it pretty well. Some of this is cricket vinyl, so it's a little bit different than the Oracle vinyl. Okay, so once you have that on your transfer tape, you're going to want to put something over the majority of this piece of vinyl. So all that's going to be touching are these squares to these squares. You don't want the vinyl on this piece yet until you get it lined up good. So what I do is I just take the backing off another piece of vinyl that I've already used. So this is also going to need to kind of stick down because it's got some static electricity in it. So when you start to put this down, it's going to want to pull this up to the transfer tape. So what I do is I cover the majority of my project, the sticky side up, so when this piece sticks to it, you're going to be able to peel it off okay. So now I have the registration mark showing. I have the piece of carrier to a vinyl on top of it, and I just stuck it down to my mat so it's not gonna come up and get all staticky. You're gonna line up the registration marks. So I'm lining up these yellow boxes right over my white boxes. So after that, you're gonna pull up your transfer tape a little bit. You're gonna peel this piece off. Don't need that one anymore. And then you're going to lay your vinyl down on top of the other layer. So since this one has 3 layers, not 3 layers, I'm going to try to get these off without pulling them up. 2 layers is a lot easier, but okay. So then that's the white. It's just got a little bit of a white outline and then the yellow in the middle. So now this is the piece that's going to go on top. So I'm going to put my transfer tape over it. As you can tell, I'm using the same transfer tape. I usually use the same piece until it absolutely won't stick anymore. You could probably do that not on your mat so you don't have such a hard time getting it off. So I'm going to lay that down. And when you pull this off, you're going to be really mindful of these little squares, because if they move, they're not going to work with you lining it up anymore. Kind of defeats the purpose of having them. So we're going to put our piece of carrier to the vinyl back over this. So my other vinyl's not going to stick to what I already have there, except the squares. So then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to line up the squares again. Piece wants to stick to me. You're going to pull up your transfer tape just a little bit. Pull up your carrier, and then you're going to lay that down over it. And really on this one, you're not going to be able to see the yellow around it. The yellow was just for the middle. So after you get everything laid down, I've got several other to do, so I'm not going to do it this way, but when you finally get it all down, you're going to pull it all up off your mat. And then you're just going to cut I'm not going to do it because I'm still going to use this transfer tape and I don't want to go through it. But when you get it on there, if you're ready to transfer it to something now, you're going to cut these registration marks off, or I can peel them off, whatever. But because you're no longer going to need those after it's all lined up. So this is going to be a window for me. So I'm going to show you again on another one just so you can get an idea. So this one is just going to have 2 layers. So it's the white on top, or the black on top of the white. So stick this one down again to your mat. Use your transfer tape. Get it on there good. You're going to cover everything but the squares with this piece of carrier. Like I said, you could probably do that not on your mat so it's not so sticky. And I'm kind of off the screen here, sorry. Okay, so there's your next piece. Black. There we go. Kind of wrinkled a little bit. That's okay. Alright, so you're going to do the same thing. You're going to line up the squares. Get them nice and lined up. Lift your transfer tape. Pull that little piece of carrier off. And then you're just going to lay it down. So, as you can see, you take these little squares off. So now, it's nice and lined up pretty much perfectly. So, little lesson, I guess, on layering. It really makes it easier to use your mat just so things aren't moving, and you know, you can keep the main piece down, because when the main piece isn't stuck to anything, as you can see, it's gonna lift up a little bit. So if you get it on a mat, it's stuck down, or you could even use maybe a piece of transfer tape if you wanted. And then you're going to want to put this piece on it because you don't want your top layer to stick to the main image under here until you get these boxes lined up. Trust me, I've tried it a million times without this on the top, and I end up sticking my vinyl to the bottom piece before I'm ready, and then pretty much everything is messed up from there. So just doing it on your mat is a little bit easier, and like I said, this needs to kind of stick down with some tape or something because it's got static in it, and it's going to pull, or this has got static in it, maybe your transfer tape, I don't know which has static, but as soon as you get close to it, let's assume that this carrier is not on here. Once you get close to it, this is going to want to just go floop up to your transfer tape, and you don't want that. So you want that to stick down over it, line up your squares, and then peel it off, and then just lay your vinyl down easy on top of your bottom piece. So hopefully that helped. Thanks, guys.